Do you want to read this one?
For sure. Is that because you can't pronounce the name?
No, I cannot pronounce your name. I'm sorry.
Laurencia, I think.
One.
So Laurencia Kurinois on YouTube asked, greetings from Indonesia experts. I was wondering if the Franz Josef heli hike can't be operated due to weather conditions. What are the alternatives to see snow in the South Island during late May to early April? Thank you.
All right, so a lot of people actually come to New Zealand with the hope to see snow. There is a lot of people that just don't have snow in their country. And the good thing is that New Zealand actually has snow all year round. So there is always a shot to be able to see the snow, which is quite awesome. And there is plenty of options. Most of your options are going to be on the South Island to see the snow.
Especially between those dates, like you were suggesting, outside of winter, between October and April, the South Island is where you're going to see the most
exactly
snow.
So the first thing that you can be doing to go get some good picture shot and go taste the snow of New Zealand is to head to the mountains. So the great thing is the South Island of New Zealand has a massive mountain range running all the way through it. Basically, that's what created the South Island, and it's called the Southern Alps. So pretty much anywhere on the Southern Alps you will see some snow. But some really awesome activities to do, and you mentioned it, is to actually go hike on glaciers and around all those areas. So there is not just Franz Josef Glacier, there is actually 3 glaciers on which you can do heli hike on. So if the weather is too bad in Franz Josef, you can head to Fox Glacier, which is only, what would you say, about an hour?
No, it's about 20 minutes down the road.
Okay,
so,
20 minutes. Oh yeah, that's true. 20 minutes
20
drive down the road from Franz Josef Glacier, so you're really not too far. And there is also another glacier, which is on the other side of the mountain, so it's quite far away from it, but it may be in your itinerary, and it's in Mount Cook. There is the Tasman Glacier there, and you are able to do a glacier heli hike there, and you'll see some snow again. So there is 3 options, so you're not just limited to Franz Josef Glacier. But if you just want to see snow, there is plenty of other options.
Yeah, so if the weather is bad in Franz Josef, then like Robin says, there is the Fox Glacier just 20 minutes down the road. Perhaps the next day after you've been in Franz Josef, you want to head down to Fox Glacier, and like Robin says, you can do heli hiking there, but there's also the option to do skydiving there. Where you get to have some amazing views of the Southern Alps and even Mount Cook, which is the highest mountain in New Zealand. And you get amazing views as you're skydiving. This doesn't give you the opportunity to actually stand on the snow, but you will definitely see a lot, and you'll probably get one of the best views of the snowiest regions in the South Island.
So speaking of best views of snowy regions, as well as seeing a lot of snow, if you take a scenic flight around the Southern Alps, and there are some departing from Mount Cook and there are some departing from Lake Tekapo, you're definitely going to see a ton of snow, because the planes tend to go kind of straight away toward the mountains, and you'll be able to see beautiful snowy peaks, and more than just one. And you're probably going to also see Mount Cook from a very awesome angle, which is from the air, which not that many people get to see. And Mount Cook is New Zealand's tallest mountain, and it has snow on it all year round, and like a lot of it. And it's an amazing flight. And the good thing as well is that those scenic flights from Lake Tekapo and from Franz Josef are actually some of the cheapest scenic flights you can do in New Zealand. So it's a pretty good and cheap option to see ton of mountain, ton of snow, without breaking the bank too much. It's still a scenic flight. It's still not that cheap, but it is a pretty good option.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to Queenstown. So in Queenstown, there's lots of other opportunities to go on and take helicopters, scenic flights in like fixed wing planes. And the most popular trip really is to go over to Milford Sound, which if you take the bus, this is like a full day. It's like to get there and back, it will take about 8 hours of your day, but to fly over, it's literally about, I think, half an hour to 20 minutes to half an hour. So as you're flying from Queenstown to Milford Sound, you get to go over some pretty awesome mountainous regions. And get to see some snow, which is what this is all about.
It will take you longer to drive from Queenstown town to the airport rather than flying to Milford Sound. It's that fast.
So if you're taking sort of like a fixed wing aircraft, then there's not going to be opportunity to land on the snow. You're just going to get to see the scenery on the way, and they do landings in Milford Sound. There's a little airport there, and then you can actually take a cruise from there and do your whole Milford Sound experience. But alternatively, there are helicopter tours that can take you onto the mountains, and they actually do snow landings. So if you actually do want to actually get onto the snow and, I don't know, throw some snowballs or something, then that is the option to go for, helicopters, because they can actually land in some pretty crazy places.
Yes, they can. They definitely can. And actually, we do have a video of that in New Zealand's biggest gap here, don't we?
Well, we do have that for the Tasman Glacier. So as Robin was explaining before, there's the different glaciers that you can do heli hiking on. And yeah, the helicopters can land on the snow. But also there are ski planes in the Tasman, well, in the Mount Cook National Park area. So you can go to Mount Cook, take a ski plane, and it actually lands on New Zealand's largest glacier, and you get to land at the top of the glacier where there's loads of snow around. And yeah, that's another way to sort of touch down on the snow. You know, it doesn't take hours to hike there, which it would normally do for people, and you'd have to be like an experienced mountaineer to get to these places. But yeah, being able to land on the snow at any time of the year is pretty awesome, and we do have a video of that experience. So if you go onto YouTube and search Ski Plane NZ Pocket Guide, you will get to see us actually doing that experience for ourselves.
Yeah, and you see exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right, and so the last place where you can see snow in New Zealand, in the South Islands at that time of the year, Laura didn't want me to write it down. She was mocking me for writing it down, but you can see snow there. It is just a little bit of a ridiculous idea, but it is the Antarctic Centre in Christchurch. So it's a big museum dedicated to the exploration of the Antarctic, because Christchurch is a kind of like a base and a hub for all the exploration that goes down there, because it's like so close to it. And so in there is an exhibition which actually makes you feel like you're in the Antarctic. So you basically walk into a big fridge and they drop the temperature. They give you like big jackets and everything, and then they drop the temperature really low. And I
think it's like the experience is like experience minus 18 degrees. So there is snow in there, but you know, you're basically going to walk into a container, refrigerated box. Yes.
And yeah, that's where you get to see snow. But you get to see snow. So
it might be fake snow, but it's still snow.
so she didn't want me to put it on the list, right? But I definitely think it should. I mean, it is a way to see snow on the South Islands when it's not winter. So here you go.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing that we wanted to mention just before we finish talking about the snow on the South Island is that even in winter, when you are on the coastal areas of the South Island, you don't necessarily have snow all the time. It's not going to be completely blanketed, covered of snow. Right, because usually what affects the temperature is the warmth of the sea as well. When you're really close to the sea, it kind of melts the snow really quickly. So on average, obviously you can have like a really bad winter and everything like that, but on average you will get to see snow in New Zealand, in the South Island, mostly in the mountain, even in winter. So don't expect, if you're traveling in winter, to have snow covering everything at all time. It won't be the case.
Yeah.
Just putting, a bit.
Yeah, a lot of people do worry about coming to New Zealand in winter and thinking it's just going to be completely snow everywhere. Yeah. They're scared about driving on snowy roads, but you won't really experience snowy roads unless you really go to some mountainous regions. So you can often travel the whole of the North and the South Island without seeing snow when you're traveling in winter.
And that doesn't mean that you shouldn't know and get snow chain when you drive with hiring your car. That doesn't mean that you should drive a little bit slower if it gets really cold, because icy roads are a thing in New Zealand and happen really, really often. It's just like thick layers of snow are not necessarily going to be.
Of course, always take some safety precautions though when you're driving in winter weather.
God, we are so boring. Anyway, so I hope that this was useful for you guys if you are looking for some snow in the South Island and it's not winter. Again, when is winter in New Zealand?
Winter is between June and August.
Exactly. And if you're not within those months, it's not winter. But if you want to see snow in New Zealand and it's not winter, this is your options. Now, if you did find this video useful, click like, hit subscribe, do all these good things. It's a great way for you guys to say thank you for all our hard work. So here you go. Let's go back to the live chat.